Okay, so hello and welcome. No, I am not a talking or sleeping cat. No, today it is all about sleep, if everything's going to work. Yes, week 11 of this year. 40% of women and 25% of men have sleep problems. So that is today's webinar. And why is it today's webinar? It's because heart attacks and traffic accidents spike the day after we spring forward, when times change again in a few weeks' time, when we suddenly lose an hour. And so I want to make sure that people understand why it's so important to get that extra hour of sleep, and I hopefully will save some lives. And if you can share this, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this later on YouTube, share this as soon as you possibly can, this bit of information. Because basically the whole point of these webinars is to help people to go from goal setting, wishful thinking and setting themselves some New Year's resolutions, to actually getting them and inspiring them to take even more self-health responsibility for more self-peace and world peace. And these are the little bits about me. One of the things that I run is beat blood pressure, but also body imbalance as well. But today's subject is sleep, and especially trying to make sure you get that extra hour of sleep. You don't lose that hour. And I'm going to just skip through these slides. If this is the first time watching, then watch these on YouTube and get back to them, and then watch some of the old ones. But what we're going to cover today is why is sleep so important? Why insomnia is actually so prevalent, serious health conditions that need to be ruled out and looked at rather than just ignoring your sleep problem, and what can be done to get great sleep, and how to beat insomnia, basically. So understand your sleep hormones, why your lights and mobile devices may be making you miserable, the foods and drinks that can help, and a 7-week, well, actually, I'm not going to do a 7-week strategy today, but we are going to cover quite a few things that you can actually do. Again, some of the things that I teach are from the Heroic app, which I'll get to in a moment, and it's a tool that you can use. And one of the best ways to actually change how you think and how you do things is use a tool. And one of the best tools is the Heroic app, available from heroic.us. If you use this app, you can improve your energy, productivity, and engagement in just 30 days. There you go, 40% more energy, 20% more productive, 15% more connected in just 30 days. So just go to heroic.us. If you want a discount code, I should really do that, shouldn't I, actually? If you're going to, there's a free version, but if you want a discount code to the paid version, then just reach out. I've got a discount code that you can use. The Heroic protocols, these are all tools, basically, at the end of the day. There's an equation, which I will cover soon. And then there's also mental performance mastery. So we're really going to be, over the next year, going deeper, deeper, deeper into the mind. And in all of the Magnificent Seven health strategies as well, which I've spoken about in the past. You need to think right, talk right, drink right, eat right, move right, detox right, and sleep right, in order for your body, brain, and bowel to work properly, so you can have the health that you want. And there you go. I've also brought it down to the fantastic functional 3 as opposed to 7. So today, the sleep. Your brain basically clears away cellular garbage when you're asleep, and your body repairs while you're asleep. So sleep has tremendous effects on the brain, tremendous effects on the body. If you don't get enough sleep, your brain and your body just won't work well, and won't work as it optimally should. And that's pretty much all you really need to know. But I am going to tell you more about that, and then we're going to get into how to sleep better. So sleep is a basic human need. It's not just about just having time out, although time out and rest, okay, there are a number of different forms of rest. I think there are 7 different kinds of rest, and that's one of the things that I go into more details with should you want actual coaching. So I'm just going to go back to that. But it's basically, sleep is something that we need to reset, restore, refresh, and replenish. Sleep deprivation can lead to less performance, less concentration, decreased reaction times. So that's terrible if you are someone that is an athlete or someone that needs good concentration. Decreased memory and learning, so really bad if you're a student. Decreased immune system function, so if you have immune problems, health problems, very bad if you're not getting enough sleep. Decreased motivation and productivity. So again, if you're running a business, etc., you need sleep. Don't compromise on sleep. And so you can have increased memory lapses, accidents and injuries, behavior and mood problems, higher stress and anxiety, and you can expect increased weight with less sleep. Yes, better sleep is equated to better weight control. There are a number of reasons why. One of them is that simply you will eat more if you don't sleep very much. And basically, not getting enough sleep leads to basically you being what's called functionally drunk. So it's like having the after effects of drinking, but without actually having at least the, the fun side first. It's just all down. So sleep improves the functioning of the nervous system, whether it's your nerves in your legs or whether it's your brain or the nerves to your gut. Prevents or reverses depression. Yes, very important. Restores hormonal balance, increases concentration, boosts the immune system, or better yet, allows your immune system to work properly. Significantly reduces cholesterol, improves learning and memory, maintains emotional harmony. Yeah, there you go. Now, there are some things, and I just had a gentleman in today, sleep apnea. So this is where, for whatever reason, you are stopping breathing at night and your partner might think you're dead because you're not breathing. And literally, if you don't breathe very much when you're asleep, you're going to decrease oxygen, which is not good for your brain. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your muscles. You're going to wake up exhausted. You're going to feel like you haven't had any sleep. And it's important to actually get that seen to. Now, there are a number of causes of sleep apnea. Could be a neck problem. You may need a machine at first, a CPAP machine to help you. If you lose weight and start exercising and basically doing the things you need to make your system work better, then sleep apnea can disappear. And also liver toxicity. A fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease can cause sleep apnea, and we're going to get back to that a little bit later. So if you have sleep apnea and you haven't done any detoxification, you haven't done any work on your liver, and you wonder why you've got lots of other health problems, then this could be for you. Cardiovascular diseases, kidney problems, especially if there's restless legs, thyroid disease, and kidney problems are massively missed, as I think I've spoken about before, by medical doctors. They look at the blood test says there's a kidney problem, but they don't understand that the kidney problem is there because they've not been taught how to read blood tests properly. Now, the other thing about sleep is not how much you get. 8 hours is kind of key. Some people can get away with less, but nearly everyone can actually benefit from more than 8 hours. And it's actually shown that getting 2 hours, at least 2 hours before midnight, has tremendous, tremendous benefits. So getting 8 hours, 12 till 8 o'clock in the morning is not as good as getting 8 hours by going to bed 2 hours before midnight. And this is partly because of how our hormones work with, oh, no, that's coming later. I'm going to talk about that later. There are a number of different stages to sleep. It's in cycles as well, which is why a full cycle takes 90 to 110 minutes. So that's why, for instance, you could sleep for 90 minutes and wake up and feel refreshed. But if you have 2 hours, then you're not actually a full way through a cycle. You've actually gone into the next cycle. And you can wake up and not feel quite right. So therefore, it's good to have 3 hours. So 1.5 hours sleep is probably better than 2 hours sleep for how you might feel immediately. But 3 hours sleep is better than 2 hours. It's better than 1.5. And then 4.5 hours, 6 hours, it sort of goes up in chunks of 90 minutes. So you want to work out how many hours sleep you want and just go for that. Make sure that you're not going to wake up halfway through, otherwise you will feel rubbish. And it's not just about closing your eyes and falling asleep, as anyone with insomnia will know that. It's how, you know, your brain works, your hormones, all kinds of rhythms as well, which brings me to the circadian rhythms. Now, your rhythms are set when you get up in, I'll leave you to read this, basically, you're at your own pace at another time, but basically your rhythms are set when you wake up in the morning and you get outside and you get daylight, actual light from being outside into your eyes and into your brain. And this actually sets the whole biological clock in the morning. So the most critical thing for actually getting a good night's sleep is getting up early enough and getting outside. And if you don't get outside, sitting near a bright window is only a tenth of what you'll get if you're outside. So basically, a bright day next to in say a conservatory, you are actually getting less light than if it's a cloudy day and you're outside. So if you're having problems sleeping, one of the best things to do is get up, go outside for 5-10 minutes, whether it's to go out for a walk, have a cup of tea outside in your garden, do what you can to basically get outside as early as possible and get that early morning light into your body. And so the main factors that disrupt this, well, light, too much light at night, and also temperature is a big one as well. But now we also have electromagnetic stuff from our phones and Wi-Fi's and Fitbits and smart meters. Yes, smart meters, which are becoming really popular for supposedly helping us save money, but they don't seem to be doing that. Smart meters are wreaking havoc with people's health, and they are a long way from actually being healthy. So if you've got a smart meter and you've got sleep problems, get rid of your smart meter and request the old meter back again. So first of all, get up in order to get some sleep. That's the first tip. Now, the brain in order for it to work properly, in order for its on and off switches to work, you need right nutrients, you need the energy, you need to remove toxins from the brain, and you need to have low levels of stress, because the brain is the most nutrient dependent, energy dependent, toxin vulnerable, and stress vulnerable organ in the body. So it needs protection and it needs care. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about, is nutrients and energy as well, to a certain degree. Now, one of the supplements that a lot of people try to help them sleep is melatonin. And there are a number of reasons why it's very important for all kinds of things. But it's great to make sure you get enough of the things that you can make melatonin from. In fact, you do get melatonin in tart cherries. You can actually buy tart cherry juice, walnuts, rice and oats, asparagus, fresh mint, and even good old English black tea will actually help with melatonin. And another chemical, serotonin, so walnuts, pineapple, bananas, kiwis, plums, tomatoes. Your body can, serotonin is a feel-good chemical, and your body can make melatonin from it, but only if a process called methylation is working. And a lot of people have a genetic defect that means they can't methylate very well. So you need to actually have the right nutrients to make sure that especially if you're stressed. If you're stressed, then you're going to have real issues with methylation. I'll get back to that in a moment. GABA, another chemical, another neurotransmitter that your brain needs to relax and switch off adrenaline. Lots of people use alcohol, but alcohol, while it switches, it can actually help GABA for a short while, it can actually then go in reverse because of liver problems. So GABA, another one you need lots of, and so you need to boost your vitamin B6 intake, glutamine and taurine, and these basically, glutamine and taurine, basically come from meat and proteins. So if you're a vegetarian and you've got sleep problems, you may, again, you can get vegetarian glutamine and taurine powders, so don't worry, you don't have to start eating meat. Inositol as well, that's another, I can't remember, is inositol a B vitamin or I think inositol was classed as a B vitamin, but now it's classed as something separate. You need lots of B vitamins to help methylation, but again, choline, which you find in eggs, creatine, which you find in meat, glycine, which you find in meat, another protein, these can all help with methylation, and they can all help with sleep and help you think better as well. And you can get vegetarian supplements of these as well. So if you're a vegetarian, if you've got a poor diet, then look at some supplementation, and we'll get back to some of these a little bit later. A Brazilian study on sleep showed that basically the people who were the normal and best sleepers basically had the widest variety of foods, which I've spoken about before in general health and well-being and gut health. Better variety of foods, especially different varieties of fibers, leads to better gut bacteria, more nutrients. And as you get more bacteria in your gut, it actually drives your own genetics and epigenetics, and makes you healthier. But in particular, sleep, theobromine and dodecanoic acid, also known as lauric acid. And so basically you find the first one in chocolate and the second one in coconut. So chocolate and coconut can help you sleep. So that's dark chocolate and fresh coconut can help. But basically looking for a wide variety of foods in your diet. Now, this one has just recently come to my attention. A study on vitamin E, and most vitamin E that you'll find in a multivitamin or mineral is only one particular type of what's called tocopherol, and so you actually need a mixture of them. And they found that certainly in postmenopausal women, when you supplement with the right amount of these mixed forms of vitamin E, you increase sleep by 15%. Which may not sound very much, or at least 15% of people improved. So it's worth trying a high dose of vitamin E. This was the one that I'd actually recommend, tocotrienols from Youth and Earth. You can actually use your QR code thing to go straight to the site. But I would also recommend that you make sure you get enough of the earlier foods, a good varied diet, and you're taking a good multivitamin mineral that helps with a whole range of things as well, before taking just vitamin E. Now, toxins is the next thing. And there's actually, when I first wrote this, there are two theories as to why toxins disrupt sleep, but I'm going to present a third way. So I'm actually going to change this, actually. 3 ways. So air pollution may directly affect sleep. So toxins generally. And then also it can just affect circadian rhythms as well. And it may be that the toxins stimulate cortisol and inflammation, which increase glutamate and then decrease serotonin and melatonin. However, it's also thought that basically if your liver is toxic and your body's toxic, your body will actually change its ability to sleep, because when you don't sleep properly, it changes growth hormones and estrogen and testosterone levels. And you actually start creating more estrogen, okay, which is perhaps one of the reasons why postmenopausal women get insomnia, is because it can be a way to get your body to make more estrogen, quite strangely. And so if you're a man, this isn't good. Testosterone levels go down, growth hormone goes down, estrogen goes up. Your liver becomes more feminized. But if you clean the liver and you do the right things, then your body can start actually making all of these things better, and you sleep better, basically. And there's all kinds of things that can cause the liver to be toxic and the bowel to be toxic, which can then cause the liver to be toxic. There's a list there. You can come back and read this. It can be viruses, heavy metals, all sorts of different things, bacteria, viruses, molds, which I've spoken about as well. So if you suspect you're toxic, then go back and watch my toxin webinars, which were primarily aimed at the heart, but go back and watch those. Or even better, reach out, because we have a whole range of different detox protocols to try and get all your hormones working properly, especially for sleep. But the main message here is make sure you have air filters in your bedroom. to make sure that the air pollution isn't actually the problem. And it doesn't matter where you are in the country, you could be miles and miles away from pollution per se. Try air filters if you are having sleep problems. So air filters and detox. And then there's light toxicity as well. In the morning, you need blue light to get your circadian rhythm started. But if you're having blue light at the end of the day from computer screens, TV screens, mobile phone screens, then that can actually fool your body into thinking it's the beginning of the day, which then decreases the amount of melatonin that you'll secrete at night and decrease your chance to sleep. So if you are someone that is on the computer watching TV, using mobile phone late at night, get yourself some blue light blockers. Those are actually the original ones that I had. I now have ones that look just like ordinary glasses now. And if you wear glasses, you can actually get clip-on bits that go over your glasses as well. So you don't need to get these things. You can actually get stuff that looks like ordinary glasses these days, apart from slightly orange. You can go to Amazon. There's loads and loads of different blue light blocking glasses. And stress. Stress is a major cause of sleep disruption. I've already done some stuff on stress. I'll probably do more on stress, but if you're having lots of stress in your life, then there are lots of ways to actually combat that, including going through the heroic protocols, actually going through the mental performance mastery program, going through the deep coaching work that I do. If you're someone who's highly stressed, highly strung, you suspect you may be toxic, or you have no idea what's actually going on and why you can't sleep, then I would suggest something for you at the end. So, sleep hygiene. If you're having problems sleeping, then get yourself a face mask, an eye mask. There are a number of different ones. There are even ones that are cooling as well. You can get yourself a pillow to keep it cooler because too hot is a problem. But just getting a face mask, making sure everything in your room is dark, but getting a face mask is a nice, easy way to do that. And a lot of people find that they sleep so much better with an eye mask. Not a face mask, an eye mask. Temperature. It's best to basically make sure that you're dropping in temperature before you go to sleep. And so, strangely enough, if you have a warm bath, not hot, but warm bath about 2 hours before bed, with some Epsom salts or magnesium salts in 2 hours before you go to bed, then you have a rise in temperature, and then you'll drop temperature down again, and make sure your room is cool. Maybe have a window open. Wear no clothes except socks. I'll explain that in a moment. So normal sleepers do drop their temperature about 1.5 hours before they go to sleep, but insomniacs don't tend to drop their temperature. So this is why you need to do artificial things like have a warm bath or do something to warm and raise your temperature 2 hours before you go to bed, and then you start cooling down. Now, wearing socks, and I have had a few people actually say that this does really work. I sort of found this accidentally myself, but then somebody else actually said, yeah, it is actually a thing, and so I've recommended it, is if your feet are warm, it actually draws circulation away from your brain. So basically wearing no clothes to keep all of your body cool, apart from your feet, warm them up, and you sleep better. There you go, simple. So the habits you need is you need to get up early, get outside, keep active all day, try and have no stimulants, so no caffeine, etc. afternoon. No eating after 6. Ideally, you want to stop eating at least 4 hours before you go to bed so that your meal is completely digested and you've got normal circulation. Your blood sugar levels have gone back to normal. They're not going to spike things up again. Turn off your computer or TV 2 hours before bed. Use blue light blockers. Turn off your Wi-Fi and your phone. Shield your smart meter. Make sure your bedroom is cool and dark and with clean air at night, especially. Okay. Oh, so temperature, silent hygiene. Now, one of the protocols that I use to help people with sleep is the sleep window. And then there's also a use of melatonin throughout the day. as well for people who are highly stressed, but starting with a sleeping window. Okay, so what Dr. Rakowski does is he basically will ask people to go to bed maybe at midnight and then get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, or even 2 o'clock, and then try and stay awake all day, and then go to bed at 11:30, and then try and get up at 2:30, and then stay awake all day, and then go to bed at 11, and then try and get up at 3 o'clock, and then stay awake all day, and then try to go to bed at 10:30, and basically work your way out until you're sleeping from 10 till 6. So it's about reprogramming and repatterning your sleep, and then making sure you've got all the right foods. And there are also supplements with stress and calm and all of these things as well, which we can get into with more individualism, but working on a good base diet first of all is key. But basically, today's modern lifestyle means increased blue light, decreased dark, increased nighttime temperatures, increased stress, decreased activity, increased toxicity, decreased nutrition, and also pain as well is a big cause of a lack of sleep as well. And you may need help with all of those. So if you're someone that's really been struggling with your sleep, then it's probably going to take at least 3 months of coaching, working on really deep into your system to try and work out what's going on mentally, trying to actually train all the right habits, 3 months of detoxification and improving your nutrition as well. There's a whole range of things that may need to be done. Oh, I'm not doing a group sleeping program anymore. But basically, you probably need at least a 3-month program if you're a chronic insomniac. You've tried some of the bases, you've tried nutrition, you've tried melatonin, you've tried magnesium, you're trying the warm baths, you're getting up early, you are actually active, but you're still not working, you're still not sleeping properly, then we need to go deeper. And so there's all kinds of other things that we can go into, all the different tricks for a good night's sleep, looking at your adrenal glands, other more hot and cold hacks, and we can even do testing on your DNA for methylation, doing a proper detox, the epilepsy diet and sleep. I'm going to tell you that now. That's the ketogenic diet, so you can try that as well. When to exercise, when to have a bath. I've already covered sleep, neurotransmitters. Then there's a super way to use melatonin, hormone imbalances that we need to look at as well, and chronic infections as well we might need to get rid of. So there's a lot going on there, I know, and that's why sleep can be so tough to crack for a lot of people, because it can be so complex and complicated. Sleeping positions can make a difference, all sorts. So if you do want to help, reach out. And there's also some great medicinal mushrooms to take in the morning that help you reset your circadian rhythms as well. So what's up next? Well, it is actually, this week is actually hydration week, hydration and nutrition week. And I know I've already done the hydration webinar, so go back and watch that. But next, I think what we're going to do is, because so many of my patients are in pain, and because it is nutrition week this week, but we're going to be a bit behind, is nutrition and nutrition for repair and pain relief. That is what I'm going to cover next week, I think. I might change my mind. I might go into a little bit more about coaching for peak performance, but I think I need to get this done and update my natural pain relief report. So nutrition for repair of injuries and pain relief. That is next week. So if you want to reach out, website, speakbloodpressure.com, bodyandbalanceuk.com, phone number 01707 662 704. You can email me. You can also find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook as well. And just remember, live long and prosper with magnificent health. And I will stop the recording and stop the sharing now, and we get on to any questions that anyone has. Okay, bye for now and see you next week.